Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today we're going to be doing a Be My Valentine. To do the Be My Valentine, of course you can make it your own afterwards once we do the direct draw of the bumblebee, and then we'll go over how to write the words Valentine. But then you can add your own little things to your background if you'd like. You can even make a little honeycomb in the background if you want, or the nest of the bees, so that's up to you. So think about what you're gonna do to yours to make it your own Valentine. But the first step is to find the very middle of our page, and we start with the heart in the very center. So if you wanna fold your paper, you can, or you can just estimate the middle. For my class today, I think we'll just estimate the middle. We can look side to side and find the center, and then we look top to bottom and we find the middle. My picture plane is off a little bit. See how the paper, you can't see a little bit on the top and a little bit on the bottom because I'm holding mine vertically today. So I'll be sliding it down as we need to see the whole picture. But our first thing we're going to do is find our center. And if we take a pen, and I like to start with a black pen, you can use a blue pen for this, or a blue marker. A purple marker would look great, brown as well. And we're gonna just put a dot in the very middle. Super small dot, so you can barely see it. That's just to mark our center, so that when we have our paper moving around, we'll know where the middle is. Now from this center, we're gonna make a heart that's in the center of the bumblebee. And so for that, for those kids that don't know how to make a heart, we make a heart by starting at the dot. We're gonna go curving it up. This is a curved line, around and back down. Now this is just the beginning of a heart. If you look, it's almost like tracing around your finger. So go ahead and do that now. We're gonna make half the heart part here, and then we're gonna go to the other side of our dot, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, curving it up and around. So I'm gonna remove my finger to do it so you can see it, up and down. It's okay if it's not the same exact on both sides, because that's just gonna give it a little bit of character. It's just gonna make it cuter. You can see that this one's a little bit smaller than this side. We don't have to be exactly perfect in art. This is what makes it unique and gives character, like I said. Now we're gonna come down diagonal and down diagonal. So I'm gonna come around here and go down. It's a down diagonal line. And I'm gonna do the same on this side, around and down. And it's gonna meet at a point. If yours doesn't meet at a perfect point, that's okay. So now we have our heart. Now we're gonna get the bee's body. So we're gonna go jump above the heart and just put a little line. And we're gonna make this an oval shape. So to make an oval shape, let's practice first with our fingers. We're gonna come around here, then we'll go down slightly, curved, come up and back around to here. We don't want it to be a really fat circular shape. We want it to be hugging the heart area and then coming a little bit lower. So watch me first as I do it. I'm gonna draw around this, then I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna come around my heart, slowly and carefully, go down, and notice it's past the heart. Then I'm just going to connect both lines together with a letter U. Curve it up and back. So the whole shape is somewhat like an oval. That gives a nice big body to our bee. And we're going to put the stinger on. Here, for the stinger, I have just a pointy down and back up. It's like a letter V. You may invent your own type of stinger. If you want to come down with an arrow shape, you could. If you want to come down with a heart shape, you can. Even if you want to add a heart shape to here, you can. So let's add our own stinger. I'm going to kind of come down, and then maybe I'm going to put a V shape here and just connect it. So it's a pointy stinger. That's a little bit different from this. This is how we can make our own art unique. We can use our imagination. Now we're going to add a little bump for its head. You can do the head, I have just an oval shape here, or you can even do a heart shape head if you'd like. So you want to think of your shape up here. If you start with the eyes first, it kind of is easier, and then you can make the head around it. So I'm going to go on one side, I'm going to put a long oval just above the body shape. And then I'm going to go to the other side and do a long oval. Now I can connect these edges. I can draw here and connect them together, or I can even dip it down to make it heart shape. So I can connect it with a straight line, or if I want to bring it down and back up, I can, or do both. That's up to you. Coming down and back up like this with a little bit of a dip, it kind of makes it more like a realistic bee's head. And then I'm just going to connect this together. And you can make the eyes really big and bulgy. You can design them your own way. To make them big and bulgy, you can just make a curve around each one. And then you can color in the pupils, which is the black dots in the center. And I did that with two oval shapes. Now here's another fun part. I'll slide it down so you can see the top here. We have this space at the top of our page here. And this is called negative space because there's nothing there. Let's look at the antennas. You can do long curly-Q antennas. Your antennas can come out with a zigzag. You can form a heart with your antennas if you want to, or put a heart on the ends of your antennas. This is where you can be creative, making it unique to your own picture. So right now we're going to do two lines coming out any way you want to for your antennas. I'm going to do mine like I did in the picture here because I love spirals. I come up straight, and then I'm going to curve around. So I come up and back, and then I'm going to continue that curve. I'm going to do both on the same side first. So let's get both on the same side first. So if you want to follow me, up, curve up and back. So it's like an N curve. Now for the inside, I start curving this in like I'm making a circle, and I continue. I try and make it equal distance as I'm doing this spiral. So I curve like I'm going to draw a circle, and it gets smaller as it comes in. Now we're going to do the wings. We want to use up this negative space here for our wings. And to make the wings, we're going to do some heart-shaped wings since it's Valentine's Day. And if you turn your paper, it's kind of easier if you turn it to the side. You can come out almost to the edge of your page and back. You can do it, you can make your own heart, or you can follow with me. If you do it small first, then we can add another layer to it. So near this area here, which is on the side, where it starts to get straight, so I'm up in this area here where it would be the shoulder of the bug, I'm going to come out with a V. So diagonal, and then diagonal on this side. Then I'm going to connect it together to make my heart shape with an M. Now, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to trace around this to make it bigger. So I'm coming up around, back down, up, around, and back down to the body. So I have a nice big wing. And I even did another layer to it so I could have it outlined, but that's up to you. If you want to just put some shadow lines in here, you can. I just do some curves for shadow lines. And then I'm going to turn it on to the other side and get my other wing. So we're going to come to this side. I'm going to come across the page and I'm going to go letter V. And then I'm doing up and back like a letter M. And then I'm making it really big. Putting in some shadow lines here. You can adjust your wings any way you want to. My bug's a little fat and has small wings, so I can even make another shape around it. That increases the wing size. You see that, what it did to my picture? It increases the wing size and makes it more appropriate to the bug size. This is how artists adjust their pictures. Fixing any mistakes, because the wings could have been considered a mistake, but I just added another layer to fix my picture. And now it looks more pleasing. Now we're going to write Be Mine. And if you want to put it on the outside, you can. You can put it inside here. I'm going to add a little bit of a dotted line to show the trail. I like using dotted lines to show where the bee has traveled in the past. So the bee started here and it was flying all around and now he's here. So the dotted line kind of tells a little story of where he was. So I'm going to, from the tail here, or the stinger, I'm going to go ahead and do a dotted path. And this gives some interest to our picture. Now, let's go on and write Valentine. If you'd like to write it with me, you may. Some of the kids have trouble spelling Valentine, so let's look together and do it together. You want to start with a large capital. Now look how long it is. So we're going to start on this side of our page. And I like to make the capital letter really big. And then I make it a little fancy on the ends. I put little circles. That's up to you. And then we're going to do, that's a capital letter V. And then I'm going to go half the size for the smaller lowercase letter. So I'm going to start over and I'm going to do an A, which is like an O, and a straight line down. An L, I want to keep it the same height as my V, so I come down straight. Then I'm going to do an E, and for the E, I'm going to come half the size of the L, so I'm coming in the over here. I'm going to do a straight line over, then I curve up and around. This is where kids often make a mistake. They often put an I here, but it's Valentine. They want to do Valentine. It's Valentine. And then I'm going to do the letter N. And then T, I, and for the dot on the top of the I did a V shape, and then I added a small lowercase m so that it's a heart. So as an artist, I changed the dot shape. And now I'm going to do my N again. It has another N. And it ends with the letter E. Straight line over, up and around. Valentine. Now, I'm going to write Be My Valentine. This one says, be mine. So you could do your own Valentine message with the words be. Now we're making a pun for the word be, because if we were to say be my Valentine, it would be spelt B-E. But because this is a bumblebee, we want to make a kind of a funny joke about Valentine, which is a pun on words. So I'm writing the word be, and this symbolizes the bumblebee. Be mine. So if you want to write that, you can. You can write it in here or up here. For this one, I'll do it up here just so you see a different one. B. I'm going to make the letters crooked. B-E-E. B. I'm going to go like this. B. Mine. Be my. M-Y. Be my Valentine. Now I'm going to add some stripes to the bee, because the bumblebees often are black and yellow. But if you want to alter it with any color, you may. This is a kind of a blue-violet color I substituted for black. And you can do your stripes any way you want to. You can make them wavy, straight, and you can put as many in as you want. Now for the mouth, that's up to you where you want to put it. You can put it in the head. Normally I think their mouth is somewhere up in this thing, but this is a cartoon. Or you could even just do it like this. And make it a cute cartoon bee. Now you can add eyelashes. It's up to you what you want to add to yours. I might put some eyelashes right here. And I'm going to do a little highlight on the heart, which is a curve, and then connecting it together. So there we have our Be My Valentine. You can even do some little marks here. Bee! I'm just finishing up adding some color to this. I added some stripes here because the dip on his head kind of made him evil looking, or angry. So I made him more friendly by just having it come across with a stripe. Now what I'm going to do is I'm coloring in. You can see how this area is nice and neatly colored in. And I'm just finishing up over here. But if you look here, I see a lot of white spaces in between. Let me bring it in so you can really see. And where this one's all nice and neat and the white spaces are gone away, what we want to do is when we use good craftsmanship, we want to color back and forth, and I kind of tip my hand to the side. I tip my hand to the side here, and I use the thick edge of that marker, and I fill in all those white spaces. That helps with craftsmanship. It makes the picture a lot neater. So that's what we want to work on as we color in our bee picture. We're working on craftsmanship. I usually outline as I color in and then fill it in. And of course, your coloring is up to you on what colors you want to do. You can use your imagination. It does not have to be realistic. But try and work on your craftsmanship. And let's look here again at the first picture I did. And you can see we added some other fun things in the background. So have fun creating your own. And now I'm going to show you what my kids did today. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, be sure to hit the like button. And for those viewers who have signed up to support this channel, I want to give a big shout out to them. If you would like to become a patron and support this channel, you can click on the title of the video, which will take you to a link to my Patreon account.